Hey everyone, I wanted to do this quick live for you guys, or this recorded Zoom with my coach here, Cory. Cory and I have been connected on social media for, I'm going to say probably a year now, Cory. And I got into this not knowing exactly what I was doing. And this whole industry within the digital space kind of went way over my head. And I think that there's a lot of people that kind of will get into or look at an opportunity like this, and then they either are that type of person where they understand that this is where our society is going, or this is where the online space is going, or this is even just where our world is going. So what I want to encourage you guys to is, if you have watched the video and maybe if you feel that is a little over your head, or if it's a little overwhelming or confusing in any way, we want to just simplify things in layman terms for you guys. Because again, when I've watched some of the videos, it went way over my head. But I think I knew Cory, I knew his results, I knew that he was a trustworthy source. And I just was willing to take that first step, even not knowing exactly all the ins and outs and dissecting it all and things of that nature. So our what we're trying to accomplish with this video is really just to answer some common questions that we get answered. And so maybe that, after watching this, that you'll feel a little bit more comfortable just to take that first step like I did and Cory did. And for this is my 7th day in this program. It's been a wild ride. There's probably I think 22 people now on my team. A result of $4,000 in my first week. So it definitely works. Cory, I just want to start with you, maybe edify you a little bit. How long have you been in this space, and what is your result today? Now, today is April 30th. So, if you're watching this in future time, our results will definitely grow since today. But what are your results today? When did you start, and what is that looking like on your part?
Yeah, so first I'll say I started learning about cryptocurrency at the end of 2017, so probably October 2017. That's when I started learning about this industry. And the reason I start that way is just because I want everybody to understand that this is the most amazing space to get educated on. And that's why I've been really looking for a low ticket cryptocurrency program that I would be able to use that would really help people get involved and start learning about cryptocurrency for the very, very first time. Because that's the reality. I know most of you guys watching this video, the truth is you're very likely getting into cryptocurrency for the very first time. And so just over a month ago, at the very end of March, a good friend of mine introduced Forsage to me. And right away, I watched the video a few times, and because I have some knowledge from the past, I was able to pick up on it and pick up on why there was so much potential in the way that this was designed. And so very quickly, I started to realize that this was something that I could use to help everybody get into the cryptocurrency space and really help the average person get in. So anyway, basically, I started the last day of March. So I took a screenshot yesterday on the 29th, and 29 days in, I was already at 35K in Ethereum through this program. So there is a lot of potential here, and we're really, really just getting started. But I want you guys to understand the reason that we're promoting this, okay, is because of cryptocurrency, okay, because we believe that this is the future and where the world is going. And so if we can help you get involved in the cryptocurrency space, when it's still in its relative infancy, like it's not really an infant anymore, it's definitely going to be around, but still earlier on than the average person is going to get into cryptocurrency, it's, in my opinion, going to make a big difference in your life. So when I decided to add this, it was about putting the normal, average, everyday person giving them an opportunity to get into cryptocurrency so that they would end up starting to realize, wow, this is really going to change the world in the way that it operates, right? So don't feel like you need to understand everything on day one. The big message that you're going to hear from Tara and I over the course of this call here, I'm sure she's going to ask me a few questions in a minute, is that this is really just about taking your first step. Don't feel like you need to understand everything before you take that first step, because you're not going to understand everything before you take the first step. But I can tell you, I strongly believe this is the future. That's why I added this program to my arsenal, is because I want to help more people get involved in this space. So that was maybe a long-winded answer to your question, but that's my truthful answer. So.
Love it. I love it. So Cory, I have around 5 questions for you today, starting with, I think a lot of people who have, been following us inside our groups, or, maybe have been following us on our social media pages, or maybe have, logged into one of our capture pages and watched a call or a video on this, are hearing some terms around this that they might not be familiar with, right? So, and one that comes up is Ethereum. The other one, of course, is what is Forsage, or the program. Not to get into like huge words or terminology, but just to kind of break it down into common sense for everyone. Smart contract. These are the kind of words that they're going to hear. It might even get asked about when they drive traffic, or when they present this opportunity to others. So what is Ethereum? Maybe touch base on kind of how the Forsage system works, and maybe some other terms that they might be exposed to that might be confusing or overwhelming for them.
For sure. So first, before I do that, I want to make it really clear, don't feel like you need to understand all the terms, okay? That's extremely, extremely important. I've been in this space for 3 years, and I still don't understand all the terms, okay? And I've made a lot of money in this space, right? So I want to make sure you understand you don't need to understand all the terms to end up being very, very successful, right? But Ethereum is simply the second largest cryptocurrency after Bitcoin, okay? And the only thing that you need to understand about Ethereum is that it has value. All right. And so the price of Ethereum is changing on a daily basis, just like the price of Bitcoin is changing on a daily basis. And people like me and people like Tara, we really believe that the value of Ethereum is going to increase drastically over the coming year to 2 years, over the next 12 to 24 months. And so if you have an opportunity to earn Ethereum when it's, say, around $200 a coin, okay, and then let's say in 12 to 24 months, this coin could potentially be $1,000 to $2,000. That's what I believe, and I can never make financial guarantees, so please know I'm not doing that. But that's my own personal opinion. My own personal belief is that I believe Ethereum is going to be worth $1,000 to $2,000 a coin in the next 12 to 24 months. So if you're like me, when you're earning this Ethereum, you're not just going to sell it all, okay? You're not just going to convert it all to US dollars. You can, like if you need the money to pay your bills and your finances and pay your car payment, you can convert it very easily. And we'll show you how to Canadian dollars or US dollars, depending on what country you're in. It's not hard to do. You can convert it anytime you want from Ethereum to US dollars or Canadian dollars. But the smart thing to do would be, in my opinion, would be to hang on as much as you can, right? Because I sell almost none of mine. And that should tell you how much I believe in this space and how much I believe it's going to change people's lives. And that's the reason that I'm sharing this, right? Is I want you guys to get cryptocurrency so that a year, 2 years, 3 years from now, your life looks radically different. I believe that the cryptocurrency space is going to give people an opportunity to create generational wealth if they do it properly and if they get involved in it and if they don't just convert all their cryptocurrency to US dollars. That's my personal belief. But of course, I know we all have bills to pay, and that's important, and that when you make money, you might decide that you're going to keep 30% of it in cryptocurrency or something so that you can participate in the gains. But whatever that looks like for you doesn't matter. The point that I'm saying is you want to keep as much as you can, in my opinion. So when it comes to understanding what Ethereum is, just look at it as a unit of value, right? Just look at it just like it's another currency. That's how you should look at it. Like the Canadian dollar is a currency, the US dollar is a currency. Look at Ethereum as a currency. Look at the Great Britain pound or whatever as a currency. These are all currencies. They all have value, right? And that's all you need to understand when it comes to Ethereum. You don't need to understand the smart contract system. You don't need to understand, everything about Ethereum and how it operates. You just need to know that it's a unit of value. And if you simply view it as a unit of value, you will do so much better than if you try to understand all the ins and outs of Ethereum. Okay, so that's the first thing. To me, that's all you need to understand about what Ethereum is. Now, when it comes to a smart contract, the reason that's important is, first, you don't need to know what a smart contract is, okay? But the reason it's important in this system is that for those of us that have been in the cryptocurrency space for 3+ years, right, we've seen a lot of scams, okay? So what that means is we've seen a lot of things that have come and gone in a hurry. And the reason they've come and gone in a hurry is because what people would do is they would buy their cryptocurrency, then they would send it to a company. The company would say, we're going to give you 1% a day or 2% a day or 3% a week or whatever it is, okay? But the company was hanging on to your crypto, was hanging on to that cryptocurrency. And so eventually they would just disappear and run away with everybody's money because it wasn't legit, it wasn't real, right? And so a lot of people had to learn that lesson the smart way. So when I was looking for a low ticket program, I wanted to find a safe low ticket program where I knew that when people made their income, they'd have immediate access to that income. It wouldn't be stuck in the program, and they wouldn't have to worry about that company all of a sudden running away with the money that they had made, right? And so for me, that was so important when it came to Forsage. And that's why I was so attracted to it when it was presented to me, because I never want to introduce someone to something that I feel could hurt them or that I feel could just all of a sudden disappear on them. And sometimes you have to learn, when you get in this space for the first time, you have to learn that lesson the hard way, that something that you may have thought was real wasn't actually real. And so a lot of people learned that lesson the very, very difficult way in this space. So what the smart contracts do is they protect us, okay? That's all you need to understand about a smart contract, is that it protects you. So what that means, in the way this compensation model works, every time a sale is made, very simply what happens is immediately those funds get distributed to whoever was eligible to earn the income via the smart contract system, okay? So let's just keep it very simple. If Tara makes a sale that's 2 Ethereum worth of Ethereum, let's say that she was eligible for 1.5 of the Ethereum. I'm just using a random example right now. And I was eligible for 0.5 of the Ethereum. Well, immediately that 1.5 is going to go into her wallet. Nobody else can access that 1.5 Ethereum except for Tara. It's hers. She can cash it out, or she can store it and just participate in the increase of value of it, or she can cash it out. The 0.5 that was supposed to go to me in that example immediately went in my wallet. The company never got to touch it. The company never held a dime of that cryptocurrency from that sale. It immediately got distributed to who it was supposed to be distributed to. And so that's the only thing you need to understand about the smart contract, is it allows the Ethereum, the money from the sales, the money from what's taking place, to immediately go into the wallet of the person who it should go to. And that's very, very important, because it protects you, it keeps you safe, and it makes you know, okay, this company, when I make money, I'm not waiting 30 days for them to pay me the money. I'm not waiting they don't tell I have to keep the money with them. It's just immediately in my possession within 10 seconds, right? Where have you ever seen an opportunity where you are paid, like, or I mean, it used to be that you were lucky to be paid once a month, and then it became that you were lucky to be paid twice a month, and then it became that, and man, if you find a weekly opportunity, that's absolutely insane, all right? And here, we're paid immediately as the sales are made, immediately into our wallet because of the smart contract. So don't worry about any of the technical lingo about a smart contract other than that, because even I don't know the technical lingo about a smart contract other than that. I know what I need to understand in layman's terms, and that is all I need to understand. So that kind of covers the second part of your question there, Tara. And then I think the third part of your question was just, what is Forsage, right? Mm-hmm. And so I'll just kind of briefly touch on what is Forsage, right? And I want to tell you guys what Forsage is to me, okay? To me, Forsage is a way to introduce people to the cryptocurrency space. Okay, a safe way to introduce people to the cryptocurrency space. That's what it is, right? So it's a very, very cool program that, like I said, allows us to earn Ethereum, allows us to have our sales immediately distributed into our accounts, into our wallets, the way they're supposed to be, so we never have to have fear. And really, other than that, you don't need to know anything else about Forsage, right? You just simply need to understand that this is a great platform for us to be able to use to onboard people into the cryptocurrency space. And by onboarding people into the cryptocurrency space, what I want you to look at, and this is why I'm passionate about this, and this is why I'm doing this, right? Because to me, it's incredibly important. This is about changing people's lives, right? And that's what everybody needs to understand. This is about changing people's lives, right? Mm-hmm. Cryptocurrency, in my opinion, is about changing people's lives. Because if you're an early adopter, right, that's what I call it, an early adopter, then you have the potential to have your life absolutely changed here, right? And for me, that's so incredibly important, because there's cryptocurrency right now. I'll just say one kind of thing about the cryptocurrency space, okay? Currently, cryptocurrency, the total value of all the coins in this space, Ethereum and Bitcoin and all the other little ones that you don't need to know anything about, it's around $200 to $250 billion, okay? We're talking about an industry in the next 5 to 10 years that I believe is going to be worth $40 trillion in the market cap of cryptocurrency. And so when you're getting involved in the early stages, right, in the early adopting phases of the cryptocurrency space, the potential, in my opinion, no financial advice intended, none given, is absolutely insane, right? So that's why I'm here, is I want people to have an opportunity to create generational wealth. And I feel there's an opportunity for average people that would otherwise never have that opportunity to be able to do that. And that's why I want to be able to get as many people in my network, as many people that know who Cory Reynolds is, that know who Tara is, that know who you are, who whatever your name is. The reality is, it doesn't matter. As many people as we can possibly touch, we want to touch. We want to onboard them into this space, because their lives could look radically different in a couple years if they get into this space now. And that's why I'm involved in this. And it's why I think you should have been involved in this as well. So anyway, I kind of took a long time to answer, because it was kind of a 3-part question there, but hopefully that helps, and you can cut in and ask me anything else you want.
Exactly. I absolutely love that. I think you touched base on a little bit of what the next question I'm going to go into. I know that there's a lot of opportunities out there. There's a lot of different companies that do things within the crypto space. I think a lot of people have this, like, for myself, I followed a lady or a really good person on social media for the longest time who was in another, in the crypto world. And of course, I never wanted to join her, because I was just like, that to me, it doesn't make sense. It's overwhelming. I just didn't understand it. Squiggly lines on a screen just was not for me. I was just like, no thanks. But I think a lot of people have that, that perception of this world. So, with all the stuff out there on the market, why? And again, I think you've already answered this question for a lot of people, but why Forsage? Like, of course, there's low to mid ticket, and even high ticket if that's what people want, right? So there's a lot of different room within this space. But I think the big thing that really caught me is that it's safe, right? I think a lot of people, when they come to me, they have that overwhelming not understanding the industry, but then there's like, is this a scam? Like, they've heard of people that might not have had a good experience with it. So
yeah, that's bang on. And the one word is safety, right? So that was the biggest thing. I've been looking for something on the low ticket for quite a while now, because I've seen the scams come and go. And so when I was going to add another program in the cryptocurrency space, I knew that I had to feel very confident that it was safe. That was very, very important to me. And so it's the smart contract, everything I just explained, that is the reason that it's safe, and how we immediately, the funds that we're eligible for immediately show up on our wallet, so we don't have to worry about the company running away with our money as a result of the actions that we take. And the other cool thing about it is, how many times have you seen a company owner go out and change the comp plan? It happens all the time, right? That, it's just what happens. And what a smart contract system does is it can never be changed. This is on the blockchain. You don't need to understand what the blockchain is either, but all it means is that how it is now, how it operates, nothing can ever change. It's exactly how it's going to be. It's set in stone. Nobody can adjust it. So we all can know this is exactly how it works. The money will always show up directly in our wallet as we're eligible for it, and we can do whatever the heck we want with it. And so for me, that just makes me feel incredibly safe. And then the second reason is just about how anyone can get involved, right? And that's so important, is that you know, there's a range, right? So like, I mean, people can get in for as little as $10 to $12, right? So you know, obviously not what I recommend, right? But people can get in for as little as $10 to $12, and you know, it just goes up from there as they unlock more levels in the matrix. And what I always tell people, just kind of talking about that for a little bit, and you can tell me if this kind of cuts into your next question, and stop me if you want, but really, really simply is just that my belief is that the more slots you have unlocked in the matrix, the better it's going to be for you, right? So I always tell people, start where you can, get your foot in the door, right? Take that first step, and we can always adjust how we need to as things go and as you learn more and you understand more. But what I will tell you is that I give everybody the goal of getting to somewhere between slot 6 and 9 in the matrix as fast as is humanly possible for them, right? So for me, that's like the sweet spot, that you want to get somewhere into that range as fast as you possibly can. Because if you're in the slot 6 to 9 range, you are going to end up earning a lot more income than if you're at slot 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, right? That's just the reality, right? So we want to progress and get to slot 6 to 9 as fast as we possibly can in the matrix. And you know, just to kind of cover that a little bit for everybody, think of it this way, right? If you're at slot 3, okay, and Tara's at slot 7, all right, and somebody comes into this matrix at slot 7, right, that's connected to you, well, you're going to get income from the first 3 slots, but Tara's going to get everything else between slot 4, 5, 6, and 7, right? And so, you know, that's not necessarily bad, but we want to make sure that we're putting you in a position to earn the most amount of income as is humanly possible for you. We want you to have the most amount of Ethereum as is humanly possible. And that's why we tell everybody, get to slot 6 to 9 as fast as you can, because 6 to 9 is still economical enough, right? Somewhere in that range, that many members are going to be able to start at that level, right? And because many members are going to be able to start at that level, you want to be at that level as fast as you can, so that you're hanging on to as much as you possibly can, right? So anyway, Terry, you can kind of pull something out there. If I got ahead of you, I apologize.
No, that's quite okay. Yeah, you kind of did cut into the next question, which is totally cool. It was just basically asking, how do you feel that, how can people succeed with this? Now, I already understand that, you know, when people are looking for a business opportunity, and here's my 2 cents on this, and what really rang true to me. Obviously, it's, you know, the safety, there's the affordability of it, especially right now. There's the timing, the leadership, of course, you, Cory, you seeing your results. But from my understanding, with being in the space of online business, is that, of course, you want to have your space within the online space, right? You want to be able to build that revenue for yourself. Now, if you are a real smart entrepreneur, you know, I've done multiple different businesses online, and once you make that income is spent, right? There's nothing else there. So what I really loved about this is that it allows you to build an income, but it allows you to turn that income into an investment, right? So you're doing a really smart business decision here, and that's what spoke to me about this is, you know, and then that investment, it's, you know, in the next, you know, 12 months to 24 months or even longer, is just going to change your life and impact others along the way. So you can feel really good about this. Anything you want to add to that, Cory?
Yeah, you're bang on, and that's why I say whatever percentage you don't need to convert into US dollars to pay your bills, right? In my opinion, you should be leaving in the market. So by that I mean leaving in Ethereum. And the reason that's so important is, like I said, I believe, I can't make guarantees. I'm not a financial advisor. I always need to say that because I'm not, right? But I believe that Ethereum is going to at least $1,000 to $2,000 in the next 12 to 18 months, if not a lot further. There's some people in this space, okay? And this might just be like a little bit too far-fetched for me, but there's many people that believe Ethereum could hit $15,000 a coin one day, right? And so let's say it's somewhere between my 2,000 and their 15,000. Let's say it's 6,000. Okay. If that happens one day and you were earning Ethereum, right, at $200 in Ethereum, and you were hanging on to half that Ethereum and not selling it to pay your bills, as an example, right? You could, I mean, that Ethereum that you hang on to has the potential to be 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 times the value of what it was when you earned it, right? So there's insane return potentials in that area. And and like I said, the other thing it does is it allows you to start to realize the potential of this space. And that's what you need to understand. You're not going to understand everything on day one, right? Please don't think you need to understand everything on day one. When Tara joined, I said, Tara, you don't need to understand anything. Okay. I said, Tara, I'm going to give you the first step. Right, here's the wallet, right? Go download this wallet. Message me once you've downloaded the wallet and I'll give you your next step. She messaged me a few minutes later. She downloaded her wallet. I gave her the next step, right? So everything is about taking your first step and realizing that when you take your first step, you're going to slowly, everything's going to come together and you're going to be like, wow, this is amazing, right? This is something that truly could not only change my life, but also change so many other people's lives, right? So that's why that is so incredibly important, is just being willing to take that first step so that you have the potential to participate in exactly what you were just talking about, Tara, with the potential massive gains from whatever you don't sell of what you earn in an opportunity like this. So
Exactly. Now, Cory, in your 29 days, you've done really, really well for yourself, right? And you're literally just getting started. For myself, my first week, again, I'm just getting started, again, having great results with this. I know that if people are coming into this with the mindset that it is an active building business, it's going to turn into an investment. It really is what you put into it is what you're going to get out of it. And so we want to make sure that people are understanding that. But in the second time, I just want to be really clear on timing. I think from what we seen yesterday, with the Ethereum jumping up $20 per coin, the sooner that you get in, the sooner that you get into the higher levels of 6 to 9, like Cory was speaking of earlier, the less you're going to pay per coin, right? So then when they do jump up, you are positioned and you don't have to worry about that higher investment of maybe getting involved in something like this. So just understand that although if you do sit and you do wait, then the coins could be a little bit higher than maybe if you started when they were a little lower. But again, they do fluctuate from day to day. But I'm really enjoying, last night when I looked at not last night, but the night before when I looked at my account, and it was at $3,000, and then the next morning, like 24 hours later, it was 4,000. Right? So it's just it's crazy. It's crazy, insane at how profitable it's already turning out to be in such a short period of time. Anything you want to add to that?
And just on that note, Tara, like just so everybody knows, when I got started the last day of March, or somewhere right around there, I purchased my Ethereum. I think it was 153 in Ethereum, right? And so and Ethereum was 211 today, I think, right? Mm-hmm. So what Tara's saying is very important, because I can't make guarantees. So that's extremely important to me that I'm clear on that. But to me, it would not surprise me at all that come June, Ethereum could already be $400, $500 a coin. It is not unfeasible for that to happen, right? It is actually, to me, it's like a 50-50. Like it could be in that range already come June, right? Mm-hmm. But regardless of where it is, it doesn't really matter as long as you get in now, because as long as you get in now, it's at the price it is today, right? Yeah. So you don't have to worry about Ethereum being 3 times higher in 3 months. And let me tell you, that's exciting, right? Like when you think about it, if Ethereum's 3 times higher, right? Well, then the smallest amount that anybody can get in for is whatever it ends up being, like $40 or something, right? So at level 1, so what is currently at $10 or $12 is $40, right? Yeah. And so each level just is a higher investment or a higher amount to get involved. That's the word that should be used, is a higher amount to get involved at that point in time. So for me, it's just the sooner you act, the better, because the overall trend in this space is up. There's going to be days Ethereum goes up, going to be days it goes down, okay? Mm-hmm. But let me tell you, the trend is up. And I think the next 12 to 18 months is going to be insane, in my opinion. So the time to act, in my humble, no investment advice intended opinion, is right now, like today, like yesterday, like immediately, like as soon as you watch this webinar, the very first thing you should do is reach out to Tara and say, Tara, I'm ready for my first step. What is it? Or whoever let you watch this video, reach out to them and say, I'm ready for the first step. I understand you're going to walk me right through it. I'm ready for that first step. That's all you need to say, and we'll take you through the process. I'll turn it back to you, and you can ask your next question if there is one.
No, I think that pretty much sums it up. I mean, like, just even from getting in, I had no idea what Ethereum was like a week ago. I've heard of Bitcoin, right? So I think once you do get introduced to this, and I think it's a very safe and easy way to start understanding more about this space, you're going to be introduced to other coins. You're going to be introduced to other things within the crypto space. Let's just say you start with this one and you decide that you want to add another thing to your portfolio. You can do that, right? Or let's just say you want to do more investment in some of the other coins that are out there. I mean, you have that. That's what I love about learning through a coach and learning through a mentor, right? It's not something that I would just go and spend $1,000 learning through a course, right? That to me just is not a very good business decision or an investment. So I just love that, you know, because of Cory, I've been able to have these results as quick as I have. And, you know, from being in the online space for the amount of time I've had, I've always looked and sought out really good coaching and mentor and had the results I've had from those because of that. So I hope that gives you guys a little bit more confidence in knowing that, you know, we are here for you if you're going to show up and be there for us. But yeah, if you guys have any questions whatsoever, please get back to the person that introduced you to this video. Allow them just to take that first step with you, and know that, you know, we're here for you if you're here with us. So anything to say, Cory?
Yeah, I just want to piggyback on what you just said before we close that off, just by saying who you know matters. Okay, that's the truth. It matters that you know Tara, right? It matters that Tara knows me. It matters that I know some really high quality players in this space. Who you know matters, and it matters a lot. I'm gonna give you an example. Once you make your first $2,000 or $3,000 with this, there's like, we can share more. What you'll find is that we continue to share more and more knowledge with you. And I'll give you an example. And you can't all reach out to Tara and ask her about this right now, but you should ask her after you've made your first $2,000 or $3,000. Yesterday I messaged her. I'm like, here's Tara. Here's 4 coins I recommend you take a look at. Okay, you've already made $3,000 to $4,000. You might want to put $100 into each of these 4 coins, because these are 4 coins that I believe have the potential to 500x to 1,000x in value, right? So when you know people that have knowledge, then they will share that knowledge with you, right? And so once you've gone out and produced results, we'll share things like that with you, and we'll give you access to things that you otherwise would never have access to, because you just don't know the people to get that access from, right? So who you know is an extremely, extremely important thing. And so for me, it's a huge passion of mine to onboard more people into the cryptocurrency space. That's why I'm here. I know that's why Tara's here as well. And she's now starting to learn as well how much insane potential there is. I can tell. It's so obvious to me in all our conversations that you're seeing, like, wow, this is about so much more, right? You know, Forsage is the vehicle to onboard, to introduce, to get you involved in cryptocurrency for the first time. But as a result of getting into Forsage, it's going to lead to so much more knowledge that you couldn't have ever imagined ever having access to, that, like I say, I believe literally has the opportunity to potentially create generational wealth that you will look back on and just be like, wow, that was the best decision I ever made. So I'm going to end with this, and then Tara, you can say whatever you want. Just very, very quickly, I have 2 quick things to say as far as my call to action. Okay. So number 1, the first thing is, I want to make sure it was made very clear that I am giving everybody a goal that you should get to somewhere between slot 6 and 9 in both X3 and X4 in this matrix as fast as you possibly can, right? So don't worry about understanding it all. Just know that that's the sweet spot, is somewhere in that range. That's where you want to be. So if you're not quite there yet, if you can, I encourage you to upgrade and get to that level, okay? If you can't, no problem. Just make it your first goal to get to slot 6 to 9 as fast as you possibly can. And then the second call to action I have for everybody is very simply this. If you're not in yet and you're watching this video, You have one job to do and one job only, and that's to take the first step. And so very simply, that first step is to reach out to whoever gave you access to this video and say, I'm ready for my first step. What do I do? And then the first thing we're going to do is we're going to give you that first step, and we are going to hold your hand and walk you through the process so that you realize how simple it is to actually get involved, and so that you can actually start participating in this absolutely amazing, amazing industry that has the potential to change so many people's lives. So I'll end it with that, Tara, and you can close it off.
That's awesome. I just want to say thank you, Cory, for your time today. I hope you guys have learned a little bit more about this. I hope you feel comfortable. I hope this has answered some of your questions that you might have, or, after watching the video that you might have not have grasped, or not understood, or maybe just ease some confusion with everything. So again, get back to the person that showed you this video. We're here to support you, like we said, and we just want to see a new and bright future for you guys all. That's our number one goal here. So thanks, Cory, for your time, and thanks everybody for tuning in.
You bet.